Hey folks, Rich Tyson here, real estate broker in Rochester, New York. So I've had a ton of people reach out to me in the last, several weeks and even months, asking about this moratorium on evictions, the new landlord-tenant laws, and kind of how it's all playing out on the ground. So I thought I'd give you a little update on that in terms of a letter that I'm sending to Andrew Cuomo's office today, and would like to read it to you quickly here. So, dear Andrew Cuomo, as a real estate broker and landlord here in Rochester, New York, I'm writing to inform you that due to your ill-formed and mandated moratorium on evictions in combination with the new landlord-tenant bill you signed into law, I've been put into a position to have lost an amount of rent without any ability to collect now or in the future greater than my tax liability to both the city of Rochester and Monroe County for the entire year of 2020. My property tax liability per year is approximately $58,000. I have lost more than that year to date from tenants not affected by COVID, but who have simply chosen not to pay rent. And the losses continue, both in terms of attorney's fees and what will likely be additional months without rent collected as I work through the process to finally begin to evict those who are still living for free. Let me be clear. I have been more than willing to work with tenants that have actually seen hardship due to reduced hours or layoffs in response to shutdown efforts. I have no problem working with people who have experienced hardship, as I myself have lived paycheck to paycheck in my past. I am not evicting people that are being affected by COVID and who are working to get caught up. I repeat, not evicting those people. What your moratorium lacked was any accountability for tenants to prove to anyone that they were in fact affected by COVID. In fact, most of the tenants that I have that are not paying by choice are collecting SSI and SSDI. You failed to show leadership with your blanket moratorium, and the results are going to impact good local landlords and good tenants as we need to increase rents to make up for losses. Landlords are not retailers. We are not restaurateurs. We are not the type of service provider that can rally back with a better next quarter and make up for losses. The best we can ever hoped for is to minimize vacancies to stay as close to 100% occupancy as possible. When we lose months of rent and there is no recourse to collect from those who chose not to pay, that money is gone forever. With that in mind, I have enclosed all of my property tax bills for 2020, which are going in there as well. Why? Because I am not able to pay them, plain and simple. The money didn't come in. It isn't coming in, and honestly, won't come in. Best case, I will finally be able to toss out the non-payers and fill vacancies. Maybe I'll get a judgment, but if a person owing me money doesn't have any garnishable wages, it's never going to happen. I'd be more than happy to discuss the situation, as I'm sure hundreds, if not thousands of other landlords would. I will thank you in advance for taking care of these tax bills and hope that 2021 will go far greater and far better than this year has. Sincerely, Richard Tyson. So I'm sending my tax bills over to Andrew Cuomo in hopes that he is willing and able to rectify the situation that he has caused by not providing any accountability or oversight into who, in fact, doesn't get evicted or who can't get evicted here in New York. If you're another landlord that's experiencing this, I'd encourage you to reach out. Maybe our voices in numbers can maybe impress upon him, and maybe even our local tax collecting entities, of whom I've been in discussions with as well, to let them know that this is a major problem. And there's one person that really needs to resolve this, and that's the person who's put all these wheels into motion, both in terms of signing the bill into law for the landlord-tenant laws that have extended minimum timeframes on evictions, and also the person who, not through the legislature, but through executive order, put an eviction moratorium in place. So wish me luck. For those of you else affected out there, I wish you guys luck. And let's hope to God 2021 is a little smoother, huh?